2, 1.
Okay, when I say right now, then obviously I was a bit ahead of the game, but really, we are ready right now. This is Poképark Wii, Pikachu's Adventure. This is Crrool, and this will be 80%. Please, take it away, Crrool.
Hello, everyone. So, we're just gonna jump right into it, and then I'll introduce myself and explain the rest as we go. Gonna quickly set the text speed to fast, because, you know, gotta go fast and all that, and then start. Sorry, that was maybe a little bit sudden, but... So yeah, Poképark Wii. Now, before I get started, let me first introduce myself. Hello everyone, I'm Crrool. I run a lot of Pokemon games, and Poképark is probably one of the more fun ones to do. It's a really cute little action-adventure kind of game with just Pokemon in it. It's definitely geared towards a younger audience, but despite that, it's still absolutely adorable. So, what happens in the game is right at the start we meet up with Mew, and what's been going on is the sky in the Poképark is falling, and you know, world is coming to an end. And we're gonna save the world using the power of friendship, quite literally. So yeah, Mew opens up some kind of hole, and then this is where we kind of get introduced as to what we need to do. So we play as Pikachu, and our goal is to collect the prism pieces. There's 14 prism pieces scattered through the Poképark, and if we collect all of them, they're all held by special Pokemon that will allow us to reach the Sky Pavilion, which we need to be at to save the world and prevent the sky from falling, something like that. So anyway, we wake up in the Poképark itself, and we get introduced to Chatot. Chatot is probably the character we'll see the most as the run progresses, and he's going to give us a little bit of a tutorial. Now, when we went in with our friends Chikorita, Piplup, and Charmander, but we've kind of separated on the way. So the first thing that we get introduced to is that I can use the arrow keys to move, and we are going to immediately ignore Chatot and not do that. We're going to start dashing right away. This is where we actually get introduced to dashing, and that I can use dashes to break crates, but it's also the fastest way of moving around, so we immediately start with that. So we pick up the berry. Over the course of the run, I'm going to need to collect somewhere between 60, usually it's 60 to 70 berries, depending on the Pokemon we befriend. But sometimes a bit more if we mess up in an attraction or something. So we pick up all of the berries as we go. So now we get introduced to skill games. This is one of the main mechanics in the game. As we go through the Poképark, we need to make friends. That's kind of like the main objective. Make as many friends as we can. The Chatot is going to the left. That's actually slightly slower. Right is a little bit faster, but it's only by like 0.3 seconds or something. It's negligible. But yeah, we can make friends through skill games. If I talk to a Pokemon, they will challenge us to a skill game. This can be playing tag, this can be battles, this can be quizzes, there's a few more. We'll see all of them as we go, and I'll explain them when they happen. But basically, it's our way of making friends. And if we make a friend, they get added to our friend list, which is important for another reason, which I'll get into a little bit later. And we'll get berries. And those berries are going to play a very significant role later on. And with that, we meet Baniri. Baniri is trying to make his way to the park, and we get introduced to how we can talk to Baniri. So we talk to Baniri, and it turns out there's this Snorlax in the way. And they're going to use this opportunity to explain to us how we can use Thunderbolt. Now, before I do, I will talk to the Baniri again. Okay, I wasn't sure if I needed to do that a second time. And then we use Thunderbolt on the Snorlax. In total, you have to talk to him twice. I talked 3 times because I wasn't 100% sure, but anyway, we wake up the Snorlax. Snorlax goes out of the way, and this will allow us to actually enter the park. But we have one more tutorial bit to do. That is, by the way, one of the very few times we will actually use Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt is rather slow, so we won't actually use it a whole lot. If we dash on, we meet Chatot one more time, and we get the Poképark pad. So the Poképark pad is where all of our friends are registered. It's where we can save the game, you know, all sorts of stuff like that. Very useful. So, yeah, we're gonna... Chatot is now also our friend. We open the pad and we immediately close it. That's all we need to do. In the Poképark 2 speedrun, the tutorial time that you see the pad would be the only time. In this run, we are going to see it at least one more time. That's probably, like, if everything goes well, that should be the only other time, though. Anyway, with that out of the way, we've now completed the tutorial, and it's onto the park itself. So yeah, that's the basic mechanics explained. One thing I haven't really mentioned yet, but also is important, when we broke that berry crate, you don't actually always get a green berry. There's a chance you can get a red or golden berry, and those are worth way more berries. Red ones being 50, golden being 100, where green ones are only 10. In an ideal world, we would get a golden one, and we'd be set for pretty much the rest of the game, as long as I don't make a mistake, but... that didn't happen in this situation. So we get into the first area of the game, the Meadow Zone, and it's where we're introduced to Chikorita. Or, well, we meet up again with Chikorita. Found each other, that's our next friend. And this is also where we're going to get introduced to the first attraction of the game. So this right here is Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is one of the Pokemon that run an attraction. There is, I believe, 14 attractions across the game. Usually 2 or 3 per area. And Bulbasaur is the first one. This is also the simplest one. It's just a dashing attraction. So we skip the instructions and we immediately go into it. So here we go. Way this attraction works is we just shake the controller. Faster we shake, faster we get to the other side. Okay, 704, that is more than fast enough. Now, if we clear an attraction, there's 2 things that happen. There is a goal that you need to reach, and there is a bonus. In general, as we go with these attractions, our goal is to not just finish the attraction, but also on top of that, get the bonus. The bonus in this case is 100 berries, and that'll gradually increase as we get further and further. The goal will get you the prism piece, and like I said at the start, we need 14 prism pieces to be able to beat the game. So we just got our first one. This is also the fastest one for us to get, Bulbasaur. Problem here in the Meadow Zone is Venusaur, the leader of the zone, actually has a rule in place that the attractions can't be played. So Trico and Mankey here, they see us play the attraction and they do not agree with that. So they kidnap Chikorita. And we now need to go save Chikorita. So they tell us the gate is on the other side of the river, so that's where we're going to go. Now, as we get to the bridge here, we meet up with Trico again, and Trico will not let us pass the bridge. We're not allowed to. We've been naughty. So he sets us a challenge instead. If we can get the bonus on Bulbasaur's attraction using a Turtwig, we will be allowed to cross the bridge. We're going to do that, but before we do, I'm going to make a few other friends first. We're going to start off with this Munchlax over here, and that immediately gets us to one of the ways we can befriend Pokemon. Some Pokemon need a certain gift. This is probably the rarest way of actually making friends. We will barely do this at all. But Munchlax wants a big berry, and it happens to be right in front of him. Now, the reason we do this is in order to actually activate certain areas, we need to have a certain number of friends. So some attractions you can only play if you have enough friends. Where is... There he is. Now, the last one specifically is an important one because the last attraction requires 80 friends. So over the course of the game, I need to make a minimum of 80 friends. So we befriend Turtwig. Turtwig's rather slow, so this is a very easy one. There's 2 more chases that I'm going to attempt to do before actually clearing the mission here of beating the attraction with Turtwig. I want to befriend a Pachirisu and a Baneri. They're usually right at the start of the either on my right or behind me from where I am right now. Okay, I'm seeing Pachirisu, so that's 1. Now, one issue, though, is that every time we do one of these, the Pokemon move. So even though the Pachirisu... Oh, sorry, the Baneri is actually in a rather good spot for me right now, chances are it won't be after we befriend Pachi. Okay, so that's Pachirisu. Now we need to befriend the Baneri. That's another chase. All of the ones that we do at the start here pretty much are chases. But we will get some more variety in that suit. I did not mean to do that. There is Baneri. So if you start walking around by just holding the arrow, you'll actually start walking very slowly. And then fairly quickly after that, Pikachu is going to start running. But if we jump, he immediately starts running. So when I have to walk very short distances, I can opt to jump and then just run towards it instead of dashing. And that can make the movement a little bit easier. Okay, so that's the friend with Baneri. That's everyone we needed before the attraction. So we're good right now. We're going to talk to Bulbasaur again. Lotad spawns, and that's actually another thing that happens. Every time that you befriend a Pokemon, new Pokemon can spawn. There's quite a lot of Pokemon in this game as well, so... Okay, there we go. We talk to Bulbasaur, and it's time for our next attraction. So the goal here is to get the bonus with Turtwig, and once we have the bonus, the Trico will let us pass. So Bulbasaur is going to accept it because he's hoping that if Venusaur sees how much fun everyone's having, he'll allow Pokemon to actually do attractions again. Okay, so just like before, this one's just about shake as fast as possible. Now, you don't actually have to win the race. You'll see later on with some attractions that we actually won't win. I just need to get a fast enough time, which is under 10.5 seconds. Now here, I need to really pay attention. I need to make sure that I press the quit button after we get the bonus. Otherwise, it just plays out again and that loses a lot of time. Okay, now we can start making our way to Venusaur. In the meantime, host, if you want to talk about anything, now is a decent time for that.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Just to remind everybody, this is UKSG Spring 2021. We are benefiting Crisis at the moment. We've already raised over $1,000 for that, and we're hoping to get more as we come in. We are trying to make this the very best event like no UKSG ever was. Please help us with that journey. You can do it. !donation in the chat or follow the button down below. 100% of your donations do go to Crisis. It's a fantastic cause to support, and any help you can give will be massively appreciated. Thank you very much. Back to you, Crrool.
Alright, so on the way to the bridge, I've befriended Lotad. Lotad is one of the Pokemon that I befriend on the way if I can. If it wasn't on the way, it wouldn't have been a big deal. We get close to Lotad again later. But yeah, that's our first battle. I'll explain the battle mechanics again in a little bit since one of our next friends is another battle. But first we're gonna headbutt this tree and that'll spawn a Caterpie. Now Caterpie is a bit hard to spot, but it's actually one of the fastest Pokemon to befriend and he's actually in a really good spot over there. So Caterpie is like, you think I'm slow? And he's gonna challenge us to playing tag. Or chase as it's called in this game. And that's the entire one. That's the entire befriending of Caterpie. Caterpie is so slow that as long as the aim isn't off, I can just press 1 and we immediately befriend him, making it one of the fastest friends in the game. Okay, so if we move on, the Mankey is on the other side of the bridge, and Mankey will only let us pass if we battle him. Now, in battle, there's 2 moves that I can do. I can either use Quick Attack by dashing, which we're generally going to do. Close, but not quite. Or I can use Thunderbolt. Now, what I tried to do there was actually knock Mankey into the water, because if you knock a Pokemon in the water during battle, that'll instantly finish the fight. Doesn't matter how much health they had left. Didn't quite succeed at that, but that's okay. So we befriend the Mankey here. Now there's another Pokemon that I can befriend if it's close to me, which is Apom. I'm gonna be on the lookout to see if Apom is close enough. That is very close. That's perfect. So we're going to do a chase with Apom here. So Apom is one of those chases that can be quite easy, or can be quite annoying. The pattern he gave me here, actually not the worst, but definitely not great. He's quite far away, and this is a pretty slow chase, but we got him. So we get Apom. Now I still need Ambipom, which only spawns after you befriend Apom. But just like before, if it's close, then we will befriend it right away. If it's not, I can do so on the way back. And that is close enough. I'll take that. So Ambipom has a bit more health than Apom, and this is one of those Pokemon that I'd really like to push into the water, but he's way too far away for to the water for that to work out here. So we're going to not be able to do that, and I'll just befriend him the old-fashioned way. There we go, that's Ambipom, and that's everyone we needed to befriend before meeting Venusaur. There are a few friends that we still need to make, but we're good for now. So if we go over here, we can meet up with Croagunk. Croagunk is the gatekeeper to where Venusaur is at. But Croagunk, he loves berries, so he'll open up the gate for us for 200 berries. Now we have 200 berries, so we good. We've told him about why we're here, so he decides, you know what, I'll give 170 berries back. So we only really lost 30 berries. So Croagunk will be cheering for us in secret, but and on top of that, he decides to teach us a little strategy for battles that we're basically rarely ever going to actually use. Okay, back to time to meet Venusaur. So Venusaur right here is like, you know what? You broke the rules, so you've got a problem. But if you can befriend Croagunk and Spearow, he'll let us off the hook. So we need to befriend both the Croagunk at the gate and the Spearow that's elsewhere in the area. Now, on the way, I'm going to be on the lookout for Treecko, because I really would like to befriend Treecko as well. Okay. But first and foremost, time for Croagunk. So Croagunk is another battle. This one's fairly easy. We just hit him. We just tackle him twice, and we're good. Yeah, we talk to him. Croagunk is now our friend, and now we get to move on to the Spearow. First, we get a quick cutscene of Scyther spawning. So, like I said, I'll be on the lookout for Treecko, because that's actually one of the Pokemon that I haven't befriended yet, and that I do need to befriend as well. Treecko is one of the optional Pokemon, just like Caterpie was, and Apom and Ambipom were, that are all kind of in the line of Well, we need 80 friends, and these are relatively fast, especially if they're on the way like that. I was actually doing a practice run the other day, and Trico was like on completely the other side of this half of the park, of this area, and it was quite a pain to get to. So, anyway, quick chase with the Trico here. You'll see some of these Pokemon are actually decently fast, which makes them a little bit annoying to befriend, but they're still relatively fast friends to do. Yeah, that's Trico. Now, we still need to befriend Spearow, and Spearow is actually kind of a fun one, because this introduces us to another method of befriending Pokemon, the Obstacle Hop. Obstacle Hops, we're not going to do a whole lot of those over the course of the run, but these are basically the, like, mini platforming sequences. Yeah, we get the explanation here. This Obstacle Hop is super easy. It's literally 3 hops and we're there. There we go. That's the entire Obstacle Hop. So that befriends Spearow, which actually concludes every friend we need to make in this area now. We have everyone. And with that, we're going to finish up this first area, the Meadow Zone, by going back to Venusaur and finishing up Venusaur's attraction. So the prism pieces that we need to collect, all 14 of them are held by a attraction Pokemon. A lot of the time, you'll actually befriend the attraction Pokemons as you go. Although some exceptions are there, like this Venusaur coming up. We're actually not going to immediately befriend him. Okay, so let's go. So Venusaur's attraction is actually one of the ones that's relatively easy to mess up, but it's also the fastest attraction. Okay, so basically Venusaur tells us, okay, you know what? You're okay, you're off the hook, but you can't play attractions anymore. And Chikorita tries to convince Venusaur that that's, you know, what's the fun in that? And he basically explains that it's too dangerous, but you know what? He dares us to a challenge. If we can beat his attraction, then we're free to go to the meeting place and he'll loosen up a little. So we do just that. So we're going to do this with Mankey. I need a distance of 203 point something feet in order for this to work. Because I really need the 100 berries bonus. That is more than enough. There we go. That is like 40 feet over. So yeah, that's it. That's the entire attraction. Very, very good Venusaur there. So yeah, that was the Meadow Zone, basically. So Venusaur is all happy because we beat his attraction, and he's going to open up the gate to the meeting zone for us, or meeting place. And he's like, okay, you know what? I saw everybody having fun. You know what? Maybe I need to loosen up a bit. And he gives us a prism piece as a reward. So that's 2 prism pieces down, 12 more to go. And he explains us that a little bit about the other area keepers. So Venusaur is like the he's kind of the one who rules over the Meadow Zone. And then there is Empoleon in the beach/iceberg zone, and then Blaziken in the cavern and lava zone. So that's where we're going to go next. So like I said, Venusaur is not actually our friend yet. He does not count towards the 80 friends that we make. You can befriend him, but we can't yet. I think we need to beat Blaziken before we can actually befriend Venusaur. They're relatively fast befriend, but it's not worth it for any percent. Because there's just too many other faster friends that we can do. So before we actually go into the meeting place, we have a quick meetup with Starly here. Starly is just going to explain us a little bit about how we can look around a little bit more easily. This is a mechanic that we're never actually going to use. We don't in this run, we don't in All Friends either. And then we just rush to the meeting place. Hey, Meadow Zone done. Let's head on to the next one. So we're actually coming up on one of my... on a pretty fun area, but also one of my least favorite ones. My favorite one's towards the end. That is the Granite Zone, which won't be for a little while. It's like the before last one. But the meeting place is basically like the central hub of the Poképark. Before we actually go in, we talk to Chatot again. He congratulates us on, fixing up all the problems in the Meadow Zone. And he tells us about the 5 gates in this area. He also explains to us that there are several Pokemon here that can help us out. We're going to introduce ourselves to those Pokemon before we actually go into the next area. There's also a half-finished treehouse here. I'm not going to talk about the treehouse much yet, but that will come into play later. So first off, we talk to Drifblim. Drifblim is a Pokemon that will help us transport very quickly from one zone to the next. So very important. We're not going to make use of his services yet, because we don't have to go back to the Meadow Zone. But yeah, we pay him berries. He takes us to whatever area we want, as long as we've activated his trigger in that area. We get introduced to Misdreavus. Misdreavus explains us how photos work and how we can make photos. We are going to make exactly 1 photo over the course of this entire run. So we just gotta get through the explanation here. You've got room for 30 photos per file. That's basically how the game explains it. So we make a photo here. We're going to save that photo. We do need to save it, otherwise the next cutscene doesn't trigger. And then we talk to Misdreavus again, and that finishes this up. That is the only photo we're ever going to make in this run. We don't need any of the other ones. Last but not least, we are going to talk to Electabuzz. Electabuzz is one of the Pokemon that can help us upgrade certain skills. Electabuzz is specifically to upgrade Thunderbolt, which we're never going to do. But later on, we can meet other Pokemon here to upgrade other skills, such as our movement speed, our health, all sorts of stuff like that. And then once we've done that, we go talk to the Corphish. And Corphish will open up the gate to the Beach Zone. And that is going to be the second area that we go to. So the Beach Zone is kind of cool, except I really like the music in Beach Zone is kind of meh. But other than that, it's actually kind of a fun zone. It's a rather large zone with a lot of different Pokemon you can befriend here. And there are some interesting strategies that you can sometimes go for, which is kind of nice. But yeah, welcome to Beach Zone. 2 attractions in this area, but we are not going to do any of them on the first trip here. We need to make a stop in Meadow Zone again before we actually do Pelipper's attraction, which is going to be the first one. This area is also the first area where we're going to run into a minimum friend requirement. The second attraction in this area, Gyarados, actually requires a certain number of friends before we can actually do the attraction. I believe it requires 25 friends for me to even be able to do the attraction in the first place. So if we have fewer than 25, I can't actually do it. Simple as that. We also learn that some Pokemon have been fighting in this area. And that's been causing some issues. The docks here can kind of sometimes screw you over a little with movement. A couple friends we need to make here. We want to befriend the Slowpoke, the Azurill, and either Starly or Staravia. Both of those work. Slowpoke is a really easy one. Very quick fight right there. So yeah, Slowpoke is now our friend. Hopefully the Azurill stays very close to me so we can do the chase with Azurill immediately after. Yeah, that'll do. That's not an ideal position, but that'll do. The Psyduck is actually a really fun one that we unfortunately don't do in any percent. Psyduck right there is a hide and seek, and he hides, or there's a chance that the Psyduck just hides in like the dumbest spot, like right in front of you, but then covering his head or something. It's really funny. Definitely worth checking out if you have the game or are interested in playing the game. Anyway, Azurill is now our friend. That spawns Totodile. We do not need to befriend that. And with that, we are going to move to Corsola over here. Corsola is the keeper of this bridge. And Corsola will not allow us to pass unless we can beat their quiz. Question 1. Okay, we receive berries. The questions here are random from like a set of questions, but this quiz is always super easy. Who excels at living sideways? I think that's Krabby. Yeah. There's a few tougher questions, but generally most questions are really easy. So yeah, once we've befriended Corsola, we can pass the bridge, and it is time for us to go talk to Feraligatr. So Feraligatr is basically our ticket to the iceberg zone. And if we want to visit Lapras to get to the iceberg zone, which is where Empoleon is, we need to first get permission from Gyarados, which we don't have. We also learn where Piplup went, because Piplup, along with Piplup's new friend Wynot, got stuck on this island. And there's no bridge, so, you know, they're kind of stuck there, and they want to get home, and they can't. So we're gonna have to help those out. So back across the bridge, I'm gonna be on the lookout for Starly or Staravia. Both work. Staravia is... Oh, okay, that works. Yep, that'll do. Staravia is a bit slower, but gives you 10 extra berries. Starly is a little bit faster, but that means you do need to get more berries later on. Okay, so I'm going to position myself here and hopefully be able to push him into the water like that. And that'll instantly finish the fight. So that was a really good fight. What we're going to do now is we're actually going to go back to the Meadow Zone. As mentioned, the bridge is broken, so we are gonna have to find a Pokemon that can fix the bridge for us. And luckily, such a Pokemon exists, but that Pokemon is in the Meadow Zone, which is why we need to travel back a little. So this is the first instance of using Drifblim. Like I said, we can use Drifblim to fast travel between areas. We paid Drifblim 20 berries, and he will now take us instantly to the Meadow Zone. Normally you can actually skip that cutscene, but the first time it happens, it's a required watch. So now that we're here, it is time for us to befriend Bidoof. Bidoof can help us build bridges. In order to befriend Bidoof, we need to collect some pieces of lumber and give that to Bidoof, because Bidoof has been wanting to build a house here so his family can move to the Meadow Zone. This is also easily the slowest part, as we pick up a piece of lumber and then have to just waddle our way to Bidoof. So, host, if there's anything you want to talk about, by all means, go ahead.
Right, you are. So, obviously, we are here supporting Crisis. 100% of your donations go to that charity. But we also have various donation incentives coming up. So, just to give you ones which will be coming up in the next few hours, then we have Jade Cocoon, where you are able to pick the name of the main character. So far, we have two options in that. Pochi is in the lead with $50, and Ash Ketchum, don't know who that guy is, he is in second place with $10. And a little bit further ahead, we have which character you get to pick for the run of Cuphead by Kev360. I saw him lurking in the chat somewhere. Mugman is currently in the lead with $50. Any of you who prefer Cuphead, there is still plenty of time to make him your man. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Sorry, I had to quickly throw my cat off the table because he's not allowed to be on there and he knows that, but, you know, he tries. Anyway, so, here we go. We've now brought 2 pieces of lumber. We're still not done. If I can find Chimchar very close on the way, I will be befriending the Chimchar as well. But yeah, we still have 2 more pieces of lumber to do, so if you have more, by all means. This is the slowest part of the run. Actually,
I remember it well. There was always a fantastic moment. Pikachu is the slowest person alive when carrying anything which weighs more than 100 grams. So we would like to take this time to thank ESA. You may notice that you're watching this today on the ESA Marathon channel. Plenty of events coming up in the future. In the summer, we've just announced when the ESA Summer Marathon will be taking place, but a little closer to home, next week, Break the Record Live is returning. 7 of the best Minecraft players in the world will be battling to beat that record. It will be Minecraft 1.16, any percent glitchless random seed. There is a guaranteed prize pool of $10,000 and also $20,000 in additional bonuses for those that are fast enough for that. That is next weekend, 3 days of Minecraft speedrunning. And then a little bit further ahead, we have Break the Record Live yet again. Super Mario Sunshine, any percent on the GameCube. It's taking place on the 28th to the 30th of May. So please put that in your diaries and remember to tune in. They're always fantastic events. And thank you, ESA, for supporting UKSG Spring 2021. Back to you.
Okay, so we now have befriended the Bidoof. The house is finished. We're going to immediately talk to Bidoof again. Ask Bidoof to help us with the bridge in the beach zone. So he's going to send one of the other Bidoofs over to the beach zone to help out. Before we do, I have 2 more friends I need to make. I need to befriend Barrel, which is over here, and then I need to befriend Chimchar because we haven't yet. So Barrel is just a quick battle. It generally goes for rollout. We were able to actually attack it just before the rollout, which is nice. And then I kind of messed up right after that. But we got him. Okay, now I need to look for the Chimchar, because we also still need to befriend that. And then once we have Chimchar, we're going to take the... Okay, hold on. Where is it? There it is. Once we have Chimchar, we're going to take the Drifblim back to the beach zone. So, this gets us a little bit closer to the 80 friends we need to make in order to actually beat the game. Because like I said, we need 80 friends before the end of the game in order to actually trigger the last attraction that has a friend requirement. We're actually going to have slightly over what we need for the next attraction. One of the next attractions requires 25. We're going to have, if I have everyone, I think 29 by the time we get there. So we'll have 4 extras. But that's all just because a lot of the earlier friends are a little bit faster. I tackled the Drifblim. That's always annoying. Okay, so beach zone next. We're going to go back to the beach zone. This time around, I can skip the cutscene. We're going to start the... basically the bridge building with Bidoof. Before we actually get to do that, we will get interrupted before we actually build the bridge, and we get another challenge for another one of the attractions, which coincidentally ends up getting us one of the 14 prison pieces we need, so it's not a huge deal. But it is more waddling around with just a couple of twigs. Just wait until you see what this Bidoof can make with those couple of twigs, though. Yeah, we give that to Bidoof.
So, with that interruption, am I allowed to interrupt as well?
Yep, go ahead.
Fantastic. Right. Well, my poker puns have been put to shame here. We have a $50 donation from Lady Marie, presumably from the Astral Clock Tower herself, the friendly one, the one that doesn't try to murder you, instead donating, and she has commented, "What an unexpected delight this run is. I Pikachu's Cuphead to be the one." And of course, that $50 has gone to Cuphead for the Cuphead incentive. So Mugman, Cuphead, which one will be the one? They are currently tied. Thank you very much, Lady Marie, for that generous donation.
So the moment that we gave the wood to Bidoof, Sharpedo and Carvana show up and they tell us, yeah, we can't build a bridge here. But they also set us a challenge. If we can beat Pelipper's attraction, they will allow us to build the bridge. But, you know, we're never going to succeed anyway, because Pelipper's attraction requires you to fly, and clearly Pikachu can't fly. So, yeah, that's a problem, right? Well, it would be, but we have Spearow as our friend. We need 9,000 points for us to beat this attraction, in order to also get the bonus. And this is not actually one of the harder ones, but I do need to focus a little bit. So we need to fly through these rings to get points. The rainbow ones are worth the most points at 1,000 points each. Okay, hopefully I can make it to these. Did. Now, Spearow is one of the slower Pokemon to do this with, so it actually makes it a little bit hard, but he also doesn't require that many points for the bonus. So we actually already have enough, so it doesn't even matter if I get more points at this point. So even if I miss every other ring from here on, it doesn't matter. There's always the same amount of rings. The way that the attractions work is the number of points you get are generally, like, there is a maximum for most attractions. And for most attractions, like, if you clear it with every Pokemon that you can possibly befriend, you get a legendary. And that legendary often requires you to get the maximum number of points. Anyway, that is Pelipper's attraction. Fairly easy attraction, and Pelipper is going to give us a prism piece. So that is 3 of the 14 pieces out of the way. Now that we have the prism piece, we can go back to Bidoof, and we can now get the thing built, the bridges. So that's just what we're gonna do. Now, we do have to bring a couple pieces of lumber extra because we won't immediately have enough to build all of the bridges, but that shouldn't really be an issue. Before we do, Sharpedo and Carvana are like, oh, you cleared it, but you can't fly. Oh, you got your friends to help. Well, promise is a promise, so they now become our friends because we've cleared their challenge, and we are now allowed to build the bridge. Over the course of the run, I believe there is 30-some required friends, like, that you're always going to get in any percent. And then there is an additional 40, I think it's 46 friends that you need to make on top of, like, all of the required ones. So yeah, that is the bridge. From that little piece of lumber that we got, Bidoof was able to build that bridge. And this is also where we're gonna get, where we're basically, we've now saved Why Not. And that's another friend out of the way. And that should get the total to 29. And this is kind of where Piplup points out the obvious by telling us, well, the Pokemon with attractions are the ones who have the prism pieces. So those are the ones we're going to need to fight. Or the ones we're going to need to befriend. Or do, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, before we can get to the next attraction, we need to bring a little bit more lumber to Bidoof. This time, we need to make our way to Gyarados, and Gyarados is probably one of the attractions I mess up the most. The host can confirm. I practiced that one just before we started, and I was like a solid 2 seconds under the minimum time I need. But I have definitely messed that up, and messing that one up loses you like a minute, so let's hope that doesn't happen. Anyway, Bidoof's gonna build us some more bridges. those two pieces of, or two little like bundles of lumber are going to build a total of, I believe, 3 bridges. And these are not small bridges either. So, yeah. Definitely an impressive Bidoof. So yeah, that's all the bridges built. We are now done with that. Now with this, we're actually, like, you can expand the beach zone further. Not so much in area, but in, like, aesthetically. In the All Friends category, you would actually do that. That's by collecting the trash. And if you collect enough trash, that'll spawn things like parasols and beach chairs and all that sort of stuff. But we're never going to do that. Anyway, this is Gyarados right here. Gyarados is a bit of a tough one. So I'm gonna just focus on this attraction. This is why we got the barrel specifically. The barrel is really helpful in specifically this attraction. Because just like with the earlier ones, you know, swimming is not something Pikachu is very good at. Pikachu can't learn surf. You can unlock surfing Pikachu. There's a password for that, but it doesn't quite work for this, so we're going to use another Pokemon, in this case, our good friend Bibarel. You always have at least 2 in like Corsola and Piplup, but Bibarel is a little bit faster. Okay, so this is a bit of a racing game. We need to beat it in 26.5 seconds. Turn there. Got that. Barely got it, but we got it. Yeah, that's an easy win. Let's go. That's almost 3 seconds faster than it needs to be. So that is this attraction cleared. Oh, it's 25.5 seconds. Okay, so it was only 1.7 seconds faster than it needed to be, but works out. We win. We can move on. That'll get us our 4th prism piece. The main reason we need those bonuses is just, if we do not get the bonus, we are going to be short on berries. By default, we're like, because we got Staravia instead of Starly, we're only short 60 berries. I've picked up 20 so far, but if I fail this attraction, I'd suddenly be short 110 berries, 210 berries instead. And it's hard to collect that many. Anyway, we're going to cross this bridge and we're going to talk to Feraligatr, because now that we've befriended Gyarados, we should be able to get to Lapras. Now, we're going to first unlock the Iceberg zone, which is like the second half of this general area. A lot of the areas consist of 2 pieces, this one included. This one is Beach Zone and then Iceberg. The next one will be Cavern and then Lava. Meadow Zone is kind of the exception to that. But after we've unlocked that, we're first going to be befriending Feraligatr. And this is a bit of a tough fight. It's definitely the Pokemon with the most health that we've fought so far. So this is actually one where I'm going to use Thunderbolt, because if we use Thunderbolt and Tackle, I can do 1.5 bar of health per turn, basically, rather than just 1. And that saves exactly 1 phase here. We're not going to use this method very much, because later on I'll upgrade my Quick Attack to do 1.5, and at that point the added damage from Thunderbolt would only amount to about 0.25 bar, so it's never really worth it. Yeah, with Feraligatr befriended, we now get to Lapras. Lapras is going to help us get to the Iceberg Zone, and we also find this hot air balloon. And this hot air balloon is going to be important later on. We're going to ignore it for now, though. That's a problem for Piplup. And we're going to talk to Lapras. So, do we want to go to the Iceberg Zone? Yes, we do. And we're going to surf our way there. So this is another one of those cutscenes where it's required to watch it the first time, but then after the first time you can skip it. So Iceberg Zone is always a bit of I like Iceberg Zone. This is probably one of the better areas, in my opinion. There's a few Pokemon that we're going to befriend here, but not a whole lot. Most of the Pokemon we actually befriend in this area are going to be required ones. So, if we were to take the trip back afterwards with Lapras, the Lapras would actually become our friend, but that's a little bit slow, so we're not going to do that. There's another fun little meme category that, for this game called Gen 1%, where you just, like, outside of the required ones, only befriend Gen 1 Pokemon, and that one would, for example, take the trip back to befriend Lapras that way. But before we do anything else, we are going to talk to Piloswine, and Piloswine is the one who protects the gate with where Empoleon is at. But the problem is, the gate's kind of frozen shut, and Piloswine isn't strong enough to open it. So we're going to have to figure out a way of opening up that gate. Now, the first thing we're going to do in order to do that is we're going to go down here, and there will be a Teddiursa waiting for us. Right here. And this Teddiursa tells us of the Mamoswine on the other side of the lake, and if we could free that Mamoswine, that could possibly help us out here. It also spawns Glalie, and Glalie is going to need some help here. Glalie wants to impress Frostlass. Frostlass is the one who would need to freeze the lake, and Glalie wants to impress Frostlass by building some igloos. So we're going to have to give him some ice to build that with. 3 blocks in total that we need to give him. This is going to be the first one. While I'm here, I'm also going to be on the lookout for Teddiursas, because there is one Teddiursa that you can chase, and that's actually kind of a fast friend. The problem is there's 3 Teddiursas in total. 2 of those are a lot slower than the other one, so I'm going to attempt to find the fastest one. We also have Primeape show up. We do not need to befriend Primeape. I believe this is the chase one. Let's hope it is. Yes, perfect. Okay, we got the right one immediately, so that's very good. The one we talked to at the start is always one of the slower ones. The one that tells us about Mamoswine. But from there, it's hard to figure out which one the correct one is. But yeah, we've befriended Teddiursa, so that's that one out of the way. Now I need to find the other blocks of ice. So we've got one over here. And then the other one is to the right of Glalie, and that's a very fast one to get. Now, as we do this, we are going to spawn an Ursaring, and we actually want to spawn Ursaring here as well. That's another friend that we want to get. Ursaring is just a battle, so it's relatively fast as well. Pick up this block of ice, that's the last one. Give that to Glalie, and that will do. So, Glalie is now going to be our friend, or actually no, I don't think Glalie is our friend right away. We need to bring Frostlass first. Glalie's quest isn't over yet. What we are going to do is Ursaring is right there, so we're going to befriend it right now. Okay, never mind. Ursaring is angry right now, and if an Ursaring is angry, he doesn't actually want to befriend you. We can't battle him. It's super annoying sometimes. We're just going to make our way to Glalie instead. Grab this berry. Where is it? There. Okay, next up we get to this chairlift. This chairlift is how we're gonna get to like another part of the iceberg zone, and specifically it is the part where Frostlass is at. So we need to go there. So this fight works fairly similar to the Feraligatr fight, where we're actually going to use Thunderbolt first, and then Tackle to do 1.5 bar, and that skips one phase of the fight. Now that Prinplup is our friend, Prinplup is going to activate the chairlift for us, and we can allow us to activate the chairlift and get to the part where Frostlass is at. We need to hit this thing, and that'll trigger the chairlift. So once we're down here, there's 3 friends we need to make. Frostlass, which is required by the story. There's Quagsire, which is a pretty fast one. And then there's Octillery, which is also a fast one, but Octillery is honestly the most fun Pokemon that we fight in the any percent game, in the any percent category. You'll see very soon why. But, you know, just be on the lookout for that. It's hilarious. Anyway, here's Frostlass. Frostlass challenges us to a battle. So contrary to the earlier 2, I'm actually not going to do that Thunderbolt strat with Frostlass, and that's because Frostlass tends to use long-range attacks. And it just doesn't quite work as well with long-range attacks. So this is just a little bit, easier this way. So yeah, now Frostlass is going to go to the area where Glalie was. The idea is that once we go back there, I can befriend the Glalie, I can befriend the Frostlass, but I can, I can befriend the Glalie, I can unlock the Mamoswine, and I can befriend Ursaring while I'm there. Okay, so I'm seeing Octillery here. Let's befriend that. So just watch Octillery's movement as this battle starts, and you'll understand why I love this Octillery. Yeah, Octillery, not a very difficult fight. Another one that uses long-range attacks, so I'm just going to take my my time with this one. And there we go. Quagsire, and then we can move back to where Frostlass is now. Now, the way we befriend Quagsire is by giving him a big berry. We open up this crate, we grab this berry, and then we just have to give that to any of the Quagsires. It doesn't even matter which one, they all work. So I just give it to the one that's closest. And there you have it, Quagsire is now our friend. So we can now take the chairlift back and try and finish up this bit. 2 more friends. Yeah, 2 more friends we need to make, and then we can get to the attraction. So the reason that I'm actually taking the long way around, like you might have been wondering why I take such a long, basically I circle around in that area, is there is a cutscene trigger with a Kirlia there, and if we get too close, that'll trigger the cutscene. But if I'm just far enough away like that, we'll be fine. I just need to make sure that I keep enough distance, and then that that cutscene doesn't actually trigger. So Frostlass here is going to freeze the lake, but before we actually go and unlock Mamoswine, I have to first befriend both Ursaring and Glalie. Is the moment that we unlock Mamoswine, we get transported to where we need to be for the next attraction. So we need to finish up this part first. Okay, I'm seeing Ursaring. Hopefully he's a little less angry now. Yes. Okay, he's less angry now, so we can fight him now. Very good, very good. This is all kind of coming together nicely, honestly. Yeah, I can kind of just wait for Ursaring to charge at me. At least the first time around. And then we can just finish the fight like that. Okay, one more friend to make, and then we are done here. Glalie is actually the Pokemon that I want to use for the next attraction, so we don't actually just get it for needing the 80 friends that we need. We are also going to get this Glalie in order to make the next attraction just a little bit easier on us. Okay, that didn't quite work out, but I can Thunderbolt from behind and then just tackle like that. And there we go. That's Glalie. Okay, so that's all the friends in the iceberg zone that we needed to make. Safer one, but we're going to wait with that last one until after we're done with the next attraction. First things first, we are going to unlock Mamoswine. 3 headbutts and that unlocks it. Right after this attraction is actually where the first berry requirement comes in, and it's why our berry count has been this tight. After this next attraction, I need 1,350 berries to get all of the dash upgrades. Right now we have 1,200 something. We actually do need to successfully do the next attraction as well, but that's not a very difficult one. Yeah, Mamoswine is strong enough to actually open up the gate. And now we can get to Empoleon. So Empoleon's already ready here. So this is the second area keeper. Empoleon being the one in charge of the beach and iceberg zones. Now, Empoleon has kind of a snowboarding minigame. And again, not something Pikachu is very good at. Pikachu doesn't have a snowboard, so Piplup offers to do the snowboarding for us. Instead of using Piplup, though, we are going to be using Glalie, because Glalie is just a couple of seconds faster. I don't know exactly how many seconds it saves, but it saves a couple of seconds compared to Piplup. So now we need to beat it in 48 seconds, but we also have the goal of 55, so we really want to be under 48. Here we go. Gonna focus on this for just a minute here. Missed that one, but that's okay. I can use one to hit the brakes, which we actually kind of want to do at times to make sure we don't bonk into the wall, because that loses even more time. Just need to keep as much momentum as we can. There we go. 43, not bad at all. Very decent finish to this attraction. Almost 5 seconds under. That actually puts me like 3 minutes ahead of PB, so we're actually doing quite well today. So yeah, that is another attraction done. That's going to get us the 5th piece. 5th prism piece out of the way. And with the 5th prism piece, we can get out of here. But there is one more friend we need to make. We do now have enough berries. So we're just gonna say no here. We don't really save the game at any point except for like one place. It's just not really worth it. There's not really anything that can happen in this run. So now that we're done with that, I'm gonna just jump over to this this Piloswine. This is one of those examples where, you know, dashing wouldn't have been worth it, so we just jump quickly to him instead. And we're gonna fight this Piloswine. Thunderbolt won't actually do anything since Piloswine is a ground-type Pokemon. That is a thing that comes into play. Oh, I thought he was... Okay, whatever. There we go. Not a very clean battle, but decently fast, so I'll take it. So now that we've beaten the Piloswine and we have enough, we have all of the friends from this area, what we're going to do is we're going to use Drifblim to get it back to the meeting area. And once we're back there, I am going to be upgrading my dash twice. And effectively, all that's going to do is just make me move around a little bit faster. And, you know, seeing as how this is a speedrun, that's quite convenient. While we fly back there, you know, let me take this moment, since we're a little over an hour in anyway, to, you know, tell everyone that, you know, if you've been enjoying today, first off, be sure to, you know, support UKSG and support the ESA channel. They're doing fantastic work. And if you have a spare moment, you know, be sure to hop over to my channel as well. Drop a follow there. That's always greatly appreciated. And, you know, since we've got some cutscenes coming up from there, I'll just give it over to the host.
It feels almost a shame to interrupt that fantastic cutscene between Pikachu and Ponyta, which is about to take place, but thank you very much, because whilst we wait for more donations to drip in, I want to take a moment to talk about the charity that we are running for today and tomorrow and yesterday, of course. We are raising money to support Crisis, which is a charity here in the UK which is supporting people out of homelessness for good. And how they do this, they're offering one-to-one support, advice and courses for homeless people in 12 areas across England, Scotland and Wales. They do things such as helping homeless people find and keep a rented home by working with landlords to ensure a good supply of places to live. They're carrying out pioneering research into the causes and consequences of homelessness and campaigning for the changes needed to end it for everyone, for good. And by working with others across the spectrum, they are trying to produce a plan to end homelessness once and for all. I'm going to put an exclamation mark donate in the chat. So if you want to donate to this fantastic cause, then you can do. Thank you very much. Sorry for interrupting, Ponyta. Back to you, Crrool.
No problem at all. So we've now upgraded our dash twice. If you paid attention, you may have noticed I had exactly 25 berries spare. So that is how close this is. And yeah, we now go to the Cavern Zone, which is probably my least favorite area in the entire game. Cavern and Lava Zone they're annoying. Let's just say it like that. There's a decent amount of waddling around in these two areas. The attractions, one of them is really fun, but then the two other ones are both kind of annoying. The friends start to become a little bit more annoying here. Like, overall, this is just not really the area that I like very much. But we are going to make it work. So basically what's going on is a piece of the rail is missing. And the cart can't actually, you know, do anything because of that. Mawile is the one who bit off a piece of the railing, and that's now been missing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go this way. And we are going to talk to Aaron. Like, basically, we have a few small little things that we need to do before we can fix the rails. So Aaron is hungry, and Aaron is willing to help us out if we give him food. And Aaron, you know, being a Steel-type Pokemon, eats iron, because that makes sense. Oh, he's really far away. That's annoying. Aaron can be super close, but his exact position is random. And this is actually quite far away for Aaron. But not much we can do about that. Now that we've given that to Aaron, Aaron tells us that Mawile chew off a piece of the railing. Now, contrary to Aaron, Mawile is actually in a really good position. Mawile is usually a lot further away. And Mawile will tell us more, but only if we beat Mawile in a chase. And this is an annoying chase because I can't actually tackle from behind. I have to either tackle from the front or Thunderbolt. Okay, that worked out. That was very sketchy, but that worked out. I must have been like a pixel or two away from being hit, so... So Mawile did chew off the rail, but Ductrio actually hid the piece of the rail that was chewed off, so now we need to go talk to Ductrio, who's back over here. So we talk to him.
Trio.
So, Ductrio tells us that we need to go talk to Marowak. Before we do, though, we're going to unlock Magnemite here. We're now going to make our way to Marowak, and on the way, I'm going to try to befriend Magnemite and Cranidos. The Magnemite is super easy. We just need to talk to it. The Cranidos is a little bit more annoying, but not very difficult either. So Magnemite, there's no actual skill. We've unlocked it. He's impressed. We are now friends. That's a Chimchar. Where's Cranidos? There's Cranidos. Okay, I did not mean to get hit, but the wall was kind of in the way there. Okay. And that's Cranidos. Okay. So now we can go to Marowak. And Marowak is going to unlock the it's also actually going to unlock the remaining berries that we need. The thing with Marowak's area is Marowak is kind of in charge of like the storage in this area. So there's a bunch of crates here. Most of these crates just contain berries, which is very convenient for us because I'm still about 40 berries short. So this is going to give me all of the remaining berries that we need. But first we need to fight Marowak. Thunderbolt isn't going to do anything because it's a ground type Pokemon. This fight's actually a little bit more challenging sometimes. We're just going to... We got to make sure that we don't get hit by the Bone Meringue. Okay, my angle was way off there. Go. One more. There we go. Get some more berries. Now that that's done with. Yeah, we're just going to open up most of the crates, at least until I have the Diglett unlocked, the Big Berry, which we need for Snorlax, and then the remaining 40 berries that I need. First off, though, Diglett. We'll befriend Diglett later. We're not going to do that immediately. But yeah, the Diglett is going to tell us that where the rail piece is hidden, and it's hidden underneath the sleeping Snorlax. Oh, that's actually perfect. Actually, I want that. Okay, that is quite lucky. So we saw the golden berry and the red berry. Now I need to figure out which one was the big berry again. There. The golden berry gives you 100. The red one gives you 50. So we just got 150 berries out of that. More than enough for me to make it work. And now we make our way down here, which is where Snorlax is at. Now, there's a cool little strategy that I can do. We're going to walk down these stairs, and then at the very end of the stairs, I'm actually going to fall off. And that'll make me immediately drop the berry, because I need to talk to Snorlax first. And then Thunderbolt him, and then give him the big berry. Oh, whoops. Hitbox is a little bit bigger than I thought it was. So yeah, we got lucky with the berries earlier. The big berry is in a sat crate. That's always the same one. Same with the Diglett, but I kind of forgot which ones those were. But the other berries, they're actually random. They can be green berries for 10, they can be red berries for 50, and they can be golden berries for 100. So getting 150 that quickly is quite lucky. It's not uncommon that you actually just have to open up most of those crates for enough berries. Anyway, the moment that the Snorlax moves out of the way, this place opens up as a hot spring. We now have the option to grab the piece of rail, and we need to bring that back to Mr. Mime. On the way, I'm going to be on the lookout for Torchic and Raichu, and I can befriend them if they're very close, although that is a little bit slower to do now. So we ideally don't want to do that, but I have the option to. Another thing we're going to do is on the way is we are going to... Actually, no, we'll do that. We'll do that in a little bit. We're also going to have to befriend... can I do that now? Yeah, I can do that now. We're going to befriend Drifblim. We need to set this the Drifblim here. Very important for a fly menu later on. But then we are also going to talk to him. He's like, okay, you've traveled with me so many times now. You're now my friend, and I'm gonna give you a discount. Of course, I do not actually want to go anywhere. But that is one done. The reason we do this now is that in order to get to in order to do Bastiodon's attraction, we need 50 friends. And if we befriend everyone in this area that we are supposed to befriend, we will have exactly 50. So this is also going to be the first place where I'm going to kind of see if my friend count is correct. Yeah, we're going to just waddle around some more. Not much happening here. We need to give this rail piece to Mr. Mime. And that just requires more waddling. We've got even more waddling coming up once we enter lava, but I'll wait with that just a little bit. I will tell you right now, once we get there, there is going to be a lot of time to plug a lot of things, so... Because that part is really slow. Anyway, Mr. Mime over here. We're going to talk to Mr. Mime, give Mr. Mime the rail piece, and now the rails are fixed, and we can take the cart. But there's a problem, because there's a wild Gibble on the path here. And even though the minecart is back, Gibble is not going to let us use it unless we beat him in battle. Just like before, Gibble is part ground, so... Can't use Thunderbolt. Sure, I dodged the Dragon Breath. 2 hits. And there we go, that's Gibble. Not bad. So, now, before we actually get to Bastiodon, I'm going to befriend Drifblim, I'm going to befriend Diglett, I'm going to befriend Torchic, and I'm going to befriend Raichu. And that should, if my count is correct, be exactly enough. Hopefully. Yeah, those 4 in... Well, Drifblim we already got, so the other 3, basically in any order. It doesn't really matter. Go to the left here. I'm seeing Raichu. Now, Raichu is going to be our first chase with upgraded speed. Going to make this a little bit easier. This is where the extra berries really came into play. Makes these chases really fast. Okay, Torchic and Diglett left. Torchic is a battle. And this is a really easy battle. Torchic only has 2 health bars, so it's just 2 tackles and we're done. Okay, what's left is now talking to Diglett, and that should get us to exactly 50 friends, hopefully. Unless I've missed one, which would be kind of annoying. I'll check after getting Diglett, because I do have a backup in case I really need it. Wait, 48? I'm too short. Okay, that's annoying. Scizor, you become my friend. I just decided that. How am I too short? I was too far away. Okay, this is not good. Can't get hit again. Okay. Worked out. Sketchy, but worked out. Which other one did I miss? I don't feel like I've missed any. Okay, I know what I can do. There's one more friend in this area that we need to get anyway. We're just gonna do that now. Good thing I checked. That made it a little bit faster for me to backtrack for these. I think I have gotten Duck Trio and PB as well, so I think this works out. Okay, so now it's time for Bastiodon's attraction. And Bastiodon's attraction's actually kind of a fun one. I do need to pay attention to how many points you can get, because this is one of those attractions that can pretty much go on indefinitely. Okay, goal is 4,000. Pikachu, yeah, so I need 4,000 points. That is all. Okay, here we go. Now, every time I hit it perfectly, it kind of gets a boost. We get double the points. The number in the back displays how many hundreds of points you get each time. And it'll also break through Bastiodon's defenses right away, as well as any other potential defenses. That's okay. That's a little annoying, but it's not a huge deal. Got it. Okay, that's kind of okay. Please stop failing this. Okay, there we go. This was all intended. We lost those balls on purpose. We needed to eventually anyway, because you have to go through all of your lives. So, secretly that was all planned, and this is totally how that's supposed to be going. I should mention, by the way, for everyone in my chat, be sure to also head over to the ESA channel. That's where the real fun happens. So yeah, 6 prism pieces out of the way. 8 more to go. So we're now going to take the cart to go to the lava zone. And the lava zone is where... Let's just say that's where the boring part happens. So, yeah, host... Just plug everything you have, basically. You're gonna have some time here.
You do realize you may be jinxing this a bit. I know a particular turtle that may have an opinion on this.
Oh, yeah, I am aware, but...
Well, we are coming to less than 90 minutes now before our next run. It is Jade Cocoon's story of the Tamamayu. I probably said that wrong, but the Jack of Hearts will be running that, and he'll tell you about how fantastic that subtitle really is. Now, this is the story about a cocoon master that goes around and captures monsters and makes them fight against each other. Nothing to do with Pokemon whatsoever, but we do have an incentive that will close, again, a little less than 90 minutes time, and that will be to name the main character. You have 10 characters of which to choose. You can also pick a heart icon if you so wish, and to actually give you an update on what the current standings are, we have Pochi in the lead with $50. And if anyone in chat can tell me that reference, I would be absolutely love it. I think it's Japanese for Poochie. And in second place, we have Ash Ketchum with $10. You have a little under an hour and a half to change that. Anything you want, as long as it's not offensive and it slightly makes sense. 1 hour and a half, all it'll take is $51 to get your choice into that game. So other than that, we do have another incentive later on today, probably about 3 or 4 hours in the future. Cuphead. Which character is Kev360 going to play as? Is it going to be Cuphead? Is it going to be Mugman? This is the most tense race I have ever seen. They are neck and neck at the moment. Do you like a cup? Do you like a mug? $50 each. We do not know what's going to win. It's all up in the air. But thank you very much, everybody. And just to remind you, since we're getting into this afternoon now, you are watching the United Kingdom Speedrunner Gathering. 4 events a year. Usually we hold these in Glasgow in Scotland, but due to the situation, we are doing this online. It gives us this fantastic opportunity to bring in people from around the world. Crrool, most associated with the Benelux Speedrunner Gathering, is here today to show you off this fantastic game for you, but we are bringing speedruns for the entire weekend now. So it looks...
Yeah, I'm going to take it away. Interrupt you to explain what's going to be happening here. So in order to get to the next attraction, we need to put we need an iron bar to fix the lever and an iron top to actually enter the attraction. That's going to require me bringing over 2 pieces of iron. Iron dropping from the drill here, not being guaranteed. It can also drop gold, which loses time. Which basically just requires me to waddle around a bunch. So after we've beaten this Hitmontop, I am going to just be hitting the drill, hoping for iron, and then once we have iron, we are going to bring that to the furnace and, unlock the next bit. And that's just a lot of waddling around, so, do continue.
And of course, give me a shout if the turtles decide to get a little bit aggressive.
Yeah, I will.
It truly is a sight to behold. So we are continuing to support Money for Crisis, the national charity supporting people out of homelessness for good. And it is a fantastic cause in which to donate to. And every single bit of your donation money will go towards them. We would like to thank ESA for supporting this marathon. Obviously, we are watching this on the ESA Marathon channel. Please check out some of their other events. We have Break the Record live next weekend, and that will be playing Minecraft 1.16, any percent glitchless random seed, and I see you've just bumped into it. Are you going to get gold or are you going to get iron? Let's find out. Oh no, you've already got 1 gold.
Yeah, we've already gotten 1 gold. Gold is 20% for those curious, and every time we get gold, we lose about 10 seconds. But yeah, we're now going to get introduced to Torkoal. Torkoal can decide to make my life a nightmare sometimes. Quite rare, but it happens sometimes. And then, once we have this, we now waddle down to the furnace to get the iron bar. And this is just, there's well, there's technically a slightly faster strategy, but it's really hard to pull off, so it's just waddling, really. But yeah, go ahead. You've got more time. I told you this area was long.
my favorite part of the game, and it only gets better, just like you said. So, where was I? Yes, Minecraft 1.16. Any percent glitchless random seed, the top 7 runners will be competing next weekend on the ESA Marathon Marathon stream. And there will be a guaranteed prize pool of $10,000 plus a bonus for anyone that's the first 5 runners that are able to get under 15 minutes. So potentially a $30,000 prize pool. We will find out at the event on this channel next week. Please check it out. And then later in the month, we have yet another Break the Record live. This time, Super Mario Sunshine, any percent on the GameCube. That will be running from the 28th to the 30th of May. Do you want it back, or shall I continue plugging?
I'll take it back for just a moment before I'll let you continue. We've now put the first of the 2 iron pieces that I need into the furnace, which is going to give us this iron bar. I'm going to use that to fix this thing, which is going to actually allow me to continue. We can't actually do the attraction without an iron top, so we're not quite there yet, but it's a start. After we actually put the iron in there, a golem spawned, and we'll be befriending that in just a moment. We can do that by just simply talking to it. And after we've done that, we go back to Hitmontop and pray we do not get more gold afterwards. And go for the iron top, which requires more walking and more waddling. But we are almost done with the most boring section of the game. So, yeah, go ahead. Still not done here.
Thank you. All right, and we would also like to thank the Benelux Speedrunner Gathering for supporting this marathon. They're hosting bi-monthly gatherings in the Netherlands, but again, for the time being, these will be held online. They've supported us from the very beginning by spreading the word, providing us with a channel to stream on, amongst other things. But right now, around the corner, there will be BSG Online 5, an event that will be taking place on the 18th to the 20th of June. Submissions are open now you can submit by going to the oengus.io website. Check out, take a look, see what's around. And I believe that submissions for that close on the 4th of June. So far, there are a couple in. Plenty more to come, and an event to look out for in the near future. It will, of course, be held on the ESA Marathon channel.
Okay, I got screwed over by 2 pieces of gold. Like I said, gold is 20%. Each time we get gold, we lose 10 seconds. We got 2 in this run, which is quite a lot. The highest I've had in an any percent run is 3. So it's not that bad, but this is still quite unlucky. Okay, I'm seeing the Torkoal move my way, and I am not liking that. Okay. The turtle decided to be mean. So yeah, this is what you were referring to earlier when you said if a certain turtle decides to be mean. If those Torkoals decide to get angry, they can randomly start attacking you. And I've had it that they've pretty much chased me all the way down to the furnace, which is really, really annoying. Anyway, okay, very important I select round here, because otherwise we would have to make a 3rd trip, and I really don't want to do that. But we are now done, and we are coming up on probably the toughest attraction in the game, at least in my opinion. So, pick up this. So, Rhyperior's attraction is also the one that I practiced the most leading up to this run today. This is one of those attractions that's just really easy to... It's really easy to beat, but it can be really easy to screw up. It's basically we're going to play some Beyblade, for those familiar with that concept. So we're going to, we need to show the top, otherwise we can't even go here. We can skip the instructions. So we need 5,000 points in order for this to work. Now, it's very easy, even with Pikachu, to get like 20,000 points. But it's also very easy to get stuck at like 1,000. We always go up first, knock off one Pokemon, because that one's relatively easy to knock off. That's not a great start. Okay. That's the 3,000. I need 5,000, so we need one more Pokemon. Come on. Let's knock off one more. There we go. Okay, we got enough points. So now we kind of just need to sit out the clock. We've already gotten enough points for this to work out. But this is, like I said, this is one of those attractions. Like, it can go very well, and you can get, like, triple, quadruple the points you need. And sometimes you just don't get it, because combos matter here. So, that is Rhyperior done. We get an extra 150 berries. And I am now almost 5 minutes ahead of my PB, and this is going way better than I expected it to be. which is kind of fun, honestly. So, we receive a prison piece. We are now halfway done in collecting our prison pieces. From here on, it is going to go a little bit faster. And we are going to make our way up the hill here, up the volcano. A couple things we need to do. First things first, we see Charmander, our old friend Charmander. We finally found him as well. Last Pokemon that we still needed to find. And Charmander tells us that Blaziken basically saved Charmander's life, and he's going to challenge us to a battle. So, the Charmander, we actually fight him twice. This is the first time, and the first time we fight him, it's a relatively easy fight. He's only got 2 health bars, takes 2 tackles, and we're done. The second time, he's going to have a lot more, and we're actually going to use the combination of Thunderbolt and the other and tackle a little bit more. But first, another quiz. Let's see if we can successfully do this the first time. In addition to berries, what else do you need for the attraction? We need an Iron Top, who takes damage from Thunderbolt. Prinplup. Last question. I think Hitmontop is best of those 3. Okay. Metatite done. We still need Ponyta and Farfetch'd before we actually go to the attraction. And then Macargo, but Macargo is free. I'm seeing Ponyta at least. That's good. Farfetch'd is a required one, so I'm not too worried about that one. Ponyta is going to be a little bit of a tougher chase because every once in a while, Ponyta is going to spawn some flames behind it. And there we go. That's that chase done. So now we need to do now we need to get to Farfetch'd and then Macargo, and then we can go to Blaziken for the 8th prism piece. Like we said at the start, we need all 14 prism pieces in order to go to the Sky Pavilion, which is the final area of the game. Yeah, Farfetch'd, very easy fight. 2 tackles and we win. Farfetch'd, like I said, is required because we need to beat Farfetch'd in order for him to allow us to basically open up the drawbridge here. So now that's going to go down, and we get to Macargo. Now, Macargo is among the easiest friends in the game, especially this late in the game, because we just need to talk to Macargo, and that's an instant friend. Macargo is also the gatekeeper for the Cavern and Lava Zone, like the final one. But everybody's been talking about it, so he's like, oh, you want to go through the gate? You know what? You clear Bastiodon's attraction, you clear Rhyperior's attraction. Those are basically the requirements. And thus he's like, okay, yep, sure, go ahead. That is the requirement. We need to beat Rhyperior and Bastiodon, but that's required anyway, so, you know, we don't really care. Through the gate, time to meet Blaziken. So Blaziken's attraction is another really tough one, actually. It's one of the harder ones in the game. Blaziken's attraction is one of those attractions where if we make a mistake halfway through, it can basically just completely screw over our score. Yeah, as you can see now, Charmander is now up to 4 health instead of the 2 it had earlier. So what I want to do is we're going to Thunderbolt and then tackle. We're going to do that twice, and then one round I'm just going to tackle. Just just to skip that one phase, basically, just like we did earlier. And there we go. That's Charmander done. So we're going to talk to Blaziken here. This is going to be the Boulder Bash minigame. Not necessarily a difficult one, but the timing kind of matters, and you get your score multiplies as you get bonuses, or as you get consecutive hits. We need 6,000 points for us to pass this, which shouldn't be too difficult, but it can be. So let's do our best. You can get either 300 or 100 points per hit, depending on like your timing. With Pikachu, it doesn't matter too much. A couple 300s are enough. Okay, so at this point we already have enough points, and the rest is just for I don't know, just showing that we how good we are at this. Yeah, we got 3 times the score we need. 6,000 was what we needed. We got that easily. Okay, we're done here. Now there is a little bit of a cool strategy that we can do coming out of this place, and we're actually going to do we're going to save the game for the first time in this entire run. Can you imagine? What we're going to do is first, we've now finished Blaziken. We have 8 of the prism pieces, 6 more, and we get access to the Sky Pavilion. What we're going to do is we're not going to save here. We are going to head out of this part. And then once we're back here, what I can do is I can save the game and then quit out, restart it, and that'll actually put us closer to the fly point, to the Drifblim spawn point. Okay, save complete. Yes, we would like to quit the game. That was this one. And we're just going to jump right back in. And this puts us near the drill again. And this is actually faster than walking back to Drifblim. It's a cool little strategy. And, halfway through the game, we get to save the game, which is kind of nice. Because now I just have to head down here to get to Drifblim, rather than having to circle around the volcano 3 times. Okay, we want to go to the meeting place. So, back in meeting place, we are going to get another upgrade from Ponyta. This is where our tackles are going to start doing 1.5 bar worth of damage, and from this point on, we're not going to use Thunderbolt anymore. We don't need it. And then we're going to get to one of my favorite areas. From here on, we're going to get to the fun ones. The next one is the Haunted Zone. There's some cool little things there. First, now that we've found Charmander, we can make the balloon fly, right? Well, that would be the case if there wasn't a giant hole in the side of the balloon. So, still can't fly, but we'll be the other 3. They're gonna focus on sealing the hole. Also, Chatot shows up, and he's got a message from Mew. Interestingly enough, Chatot is the only Pokemon to ever have contact with Mew outside of Pikachu and the gang. Like, the rest has no idea what's going on, but somehow Chatot does, which is a little sus. Anyway, we go over here to talk to Ponyta. And Ponyta is going to teach us the Double Dash for free. And once we have done that, we are going to go over here to talk to... No, not Skorupi. I went the wrong way. Duskull. And that's going to actually give us access to the haunted area. And we're actually going to immediately do the next attraction. Our next stop is going to be Tangrowth's attraction for the 9th prism piece. And honestly, Tangrowth's attraction is one of my favorite ones. It's such a cool little attraction. It's there's actually, like, the timing of it can be quite precise if you really want to optimize it. Like you can do the attraction like 3 times under the amount of time that you need. So going into the area here, well, gate opens up, and we are gonna talk to Tangrowth and just do this attraction immediately. Now there are quite a number of Pokemon in this area that we're gonna be befriending, but first the attractions. So the goal is 40 seconds. We're going to do this with Raichu because he's the fastest. The goal with Raichu is 28.8 seconds. That already saves us like 10 seconds right there. And this one's kind of similar to the very first attraction we did, except with more vines. So there we go. We did it in 12. So this is supposed to, like, you're supposed to have 28 seconds. We just finished it in 12. That's how easy this attraction is. So now that we've cleared the attraction, we get the prison piece, and we're going to move on to actually entering the haunted house. So Drifloon is the one who's going to be opening up the gate for us here. Let's talk to Drifloon. You want to enter the haunted house, and here we go. So we're going to first take a bit of a tour of the haunted house, and then we're going to start making... Well, really, we're only going to make one friend, and then we have another attraction that we're going to do. And then we're going to do, like, the majority of befriending Pokemon in this area. So this is where Duskull is going to give us a tour, and he introduces us to the location of Dusknoir's attraction. But Dusknoir isn't here yet. It's not time. Behind this door is the library, and that'll lead to the last attraction of the game. It'll be a little while before we can get in there, though. Okay, and then once Duskull talks about the Great Hall, we can talk to Ghastly, and Ghastly will open up the next door for us. The way that this kind of missed the stairs here. The way that this area works is a lot of the doors are initially closed, but as we progress through this area, several ghost Pokemon are just going to slowly but steadily open up different areas and unlock more Pokemon in the haunted house. Yeah, we get to see the doors open for this one. This is also where we're going to befriend Ghastly. And this is one of those friends that can go very quickly or very slowly, depending on how things go. Let's hope things go well here. So Ghastly is a chase. The thing that makes the Ghastly chase harder is he is in the air. Okay, we're going to have a slow chase. This is what I mean with the Ghastly chase can be a very slow one. There we go. Okay. So the idea is you want to dash and then immediately jump so that you can get Ghastly while you're still in that room. But if you miss it, it kind of messes up your camera angle and just makes it almost impossible to befriend quickly.
Ghastly.
That's the one downside of this area. It is so easily to it's so easy to get lost. Gengar. Yeah, we need to talk to Gengar. Gengar, or our talk with Gengar here, who is in a painting where it's nice and quiet, is what unlocks Dusknoir showing up. Gengar. Bell has rung. Dusknoir will be here soon. We're gonna go around here, down and around, and then we can get to, there's so many, like, that's the thing with the haunted house. There are so many tiny little ledges you can get stuck on. It's a nightmare sometimes.
Dusknoir. Dusknoir.
So Speed Slam works very similar to the very first attraction we did, where it was the dashing. We need to do it in 14 seconds. We're going to use Cranidos for this. Although I guess I could have used Scissor. Scissor is actually slightly faster. I'm not supposed to have Scissor, so I'm not really used to that. That's okay. So the ghost Pokemon will go through those walls. The Cranidos, and the same goes for Scissor, will have to... They just break them. But this works out. We get our 200 berries bonus, and that is Dusknoir done.
Dusknoir. Dusknoir. Dusknoir.
And now that that's done, we can now that we've finished Speed Slam, now we can go into the Great Hall. We're gonna go talk to Duskull, and he'll unlock the Great Hall for us.
Duskull.
So yeah, another point of, you know, trying to not get stuck behind the ledges. But we go in here and we talk to Misdreavus and Pichu, and Pichu is kind of like a friend to all of the ghost Pokemon here for some reason. But yeah, we talk to Pichu, and then I need to go over here to talk to Misdreavus. See, the problem is all of the parties in the hall have stopped. Nobody has a chance to party anymore because the piano is broken. So Misdreavus tells us to go talk to Spinarak because, you know, Spinarak's thread would be able to... you know, open or to fix the piano, and everybody could have a party again. So we're gonna go all the way back to the start of the house and unlock the green jewel rooms. We had the blue ones earlier. That's where Gengar was at. Now we're gonna do the other side. And Ghastly is gonna open the green one. 2 Pokemon here we want to befriend. Or no, 1 Pokemon here we want to befriend, which is the Abra, and then we talk to Spinarak so we can move on and fix the piano. Abra is a very easy friend. It's right in here. The convenient thing with Abra is the next attraction, Rotom's attraction, actually requires 5,000 points, and Abra's bonus is also 5,000 points. So it's just objectively the best Pokemon we can use for it, because it's strong enough to one-shot the Ghastlies in that attraction. I'll explain that more. Like it'll kind of explain itself once we get there. But it's like it's strong enough to get all of the Pokemon beaten quickly, but it also isn't. It doesn't require me to play for longer because of the points. Anyway, we have the thread, and we now have to waddle to the Great Hall. So, host, if you want to talk about things, now would be a good time.
Yes, I would actually like to take the opportunity to say that anyone that was trying to donate and came across a an unfunctioning website. Those problems are now fixed. So anyone that was willing to donate to us, you are now able to do it again. And I have 2 donations ready and waiting. First of all, Anonymous, my favorite friend, Anonymous, has donated $30. Unfortunately, they're a bit shy. No comment. But that $30, thank you very much. And that has gone for the finale incentive, where a selection of UKSG organizers will present it live in their best dress. Suits, kilts, you name it, it's going to be there. So thank you very much, Anonymous. Prometheus has donated $47.10. Greetings, everyone. It's a Pokemon run. Here's 47.1 for my favorite Pokemon, Glaceon. Does it make an appearance in this game? Crrool, I believe it does.
It briefly does, but we don't befriend it. We've passed Glaceon a few times in Iceberg Zone.
Although for a casual run, I do remember using her for the slip and slide down the mountain. It's a very good Pokemon to choose if you're playing casually.
Oh,
As
yeah.
you say, completely useless for any percent.
Well, not useless. It's just too slow to befriend, which is why we don't get it. In All Friends, it's a very useful, or it's a Pokemon we absolutely would get though. Here we just pass it twice on the way.
Okay, thank you very much, Prometheus, for that donation. And that donation has gone to the Cuphead incentive. Who is Kev360 going to play as? Is it going to be Cuphead? Is it going to be Mugman? That $47.10 has gone to Mugman. So Mugman is now in the lead. Talking about donation incentives, we are coming nearly an hour to go on Jade Cocoon incentive. You get to name the main character. Pochi is in the lead by $40. $51 will get your choice through. Head on down to the donation site, and hopefully you get to name the main character for the Jack of Hearts, who will be coming up after Crrool. Thank you very much, everybody, for your donations. Keep them coming in, and back to you, Crrool.
Okay, so we've now fixed the piano. We've befriended Mischievous, and that's unlocked the red jewel door, which is the final door we needed to unlock here before we can do the last attraction of the haunted zone. Now, before we can actually get to Rotom, we need to find a book that's missing, and conveniently enough, the Sableye right here has it, but doesn't want to give it away unless we beat the quiz. And this is actually the quiz I tend to fail the most, because some of its questions are actually a little obscure. Question 1. Pichu is close to the ghost types. That's correct. Okay. Question 2. I don't think he can. Who opened the entrance? That's Drifloon. Okay, cool. Got that first try. That's very nice. Okay, so now that we have the book, we're gonna turn back, and we're gonna put that in this bookshelf over here. That'll open up the door and gives us access to Rotom. Now, this is another one of those attractions it's a little bit difficult. It's definitely possible for me to mess this one up, so we're just gonna do our best to try not to. Once we're done with this attraction, before we leave, I do actually have like 4 more friends that we need to make, so we are not going to be done immediately. Okay, so we talked to Rotom. So the idea is this is kind of like a bunch of ghosts are going to be trying to attack us. We need to shoot them. We need 5,000 points for us to be okay here. Abra is the best one we have, best one we can get. It also requires 5,000 points, so here we go. Let's do this. The Haunter takes 2 hits, the Ghastlies take 1 with Abra. And the Rotoms are huge points. They give 1,000 points, so very important we get that. Oh, crap. Okay, we have enough points. I kind of lost my controller there. My sensor bar happens to do that sometimes, and it's really annoying when it happens, but we barely managed to recover that. So that's Rotom. Yeah, we are now on big PB pace, so do account for the fact that this is probably going to go quite a bit underestimate. I'm a lot more ahead than I expected to be. Anyway, that is another Prism piece done. And with that, we have all but, I want to say 3, maybe 4, not 100% sure. We have quite a number of them. Now, before we go out, we are going to make a few more friends. There is one very quick backup friend that I can do, which I'm going to get because I think I'm like one short somewhere. Like somehow I missed a couple of Pokemon and I have no idea which ones, but that's okay. Good side note here, at this point we need 1,540 berries leaving this area. I can make 1,530 work, but we really want at least 1,540 berries leaving this area, which isn't too difficult. We have 4 more friends we can make. The first one's in this area. He's actually not in a terrible spot if he decides to stop rolling away from me. So we have Electrode. We can get Electrode just by talking to it, so it's a super quick friend. And then on the way out, we're going to befriend Drifloon, we're going to befriend Kakuna, and we're going to befriend Metapod. All 3 of those we're going to do as we leave this area. Door right here. We are done with the haunted house. 3 more attractions left, which are all Granite Zone or like the one that comes after that. I forgot its name right now. Yeah, we headbutt this tree, and the moment that we do that, a Kakuna will fall out. And if we then talk to the Kakuna, it will immediately become our friend. Then we head back to the door. We talk to this Drifloon. This Drifloon immediately becomes our friend. And we hit the last tree, and that is where Metapod falls down. Metapod. And that is Metapod. So that should now mean we have enough friends. So we're gonna go back to the meeting place. Contrary to the other areas, we're actually not going to use Drifloon. The Drifloon spot is right there, but at this point it's actually just faster to continue running. The cutscene for spawning Drifloon and then flying is slower than just walking to the meeting, walking back to the meeting place. Okay, we're gonna talk to Ponyta one more time, get the final dash upgrade. This one requires 1,500 berries. We have more than enough. This is the only thing I needed to do here in the meeting place. We can now go and talk to Skorupi to open up the Granite Zone. And the Granite Zone is honestly one of the bigger ones in many ways that we do. The second area for Granite is actually a really short one. We're not going to see a whole lot of that. But it is where we're going to be getting access to the Sky Pavilion, which is the final area of the game. Granite Zone is kind of like an old ruin that we travel through. It's quite cool. As we enter, the very first thing we're going to do is, well, we're going to first talk to Charizard. Now, if I was short even more Pokemon, I could opt to befriend this Charizard. I believe some old routes actually befriended it. But it's not really worth it to befriend it. The fight is relatively long, so we're not going to do that. So, well, after talking to Charizard, we are immediately going to hop onto the 12th attraction of the game, We have 3 left. Absol, Salamence, and Rayquaza. Or Rayquaza, or however you're supposed to pronounce it. Yeah, so yeah. Ancient Ruin here that we need to explore. The 80 friends requirement is also what comes into play here. This is why this is the area where we where that, you know, I need a minimum of 80 friends actually matters. In order to befriend the or in order to do the attraction for the Salamence, I need a minimum of 80 friends. But first, we go talk to Absol over here.
Absol. Absol. Absol.
So yeah, this is where Ponyta is really helpful, because Ponyta is really good for this one. 12.7 seconds is the time we have, although at this point the bonuses don't matter as much anymore. And there we go. Well, like I said, this one isn't hard. This is one of the easier attractions, especially with Pokemon like Ponyta. We get the 300 berries bonus. We don't really need it anymore, but still nice to have, I guess.
Absol. Absol.
So we received the prison piece. That is 12 done, and we are now going to go basically through this entire ruins. There is a gate at the top of the ruins, and the way that we open the gate is we need to find 3 words. So basically our quest throughout this entire area is to find those 3 words. Now, one of them is held by Porygon Z. One of them is held by Togekiss, and then the third one actually isn't even in this area at all. So we are gonna have to travel around a little bit more later on. Yeah, first things first, there is this, like, bridge that we need to put in place. And then after we cross the bridge, I'm going to put it back in its old position, because we will need that later on. We are going to have to take the other path in a little bit, so just good to have that in its correct position now. Oh, crap, I wanted to go up here. Yeah, up here we meet Flygon, and this is that gate that I was talking about. So in order to open this, the Promise Gate, because this is behind this is where the Sky Pavilion is, we need to obtain 3 secret words. Now, around here, we do face our necessary challenges as we go through this. The Granite Zone really attempts to test us on everything we've learned in the game up to this point. So we're going to get some pretty tough battles. We're going to get some Pokemon, we're going to get a quiz. We're going to get or actually kind of 2 obstacle hops that we need to do. Like all sorts of stuff like that. Yeah, Blastoise, fairly easy fight. It's one of those fights where you can really see that it helps that we now have 1.5 bar damage instead of just 1. It really makes a difference in that one. And then we go down here. This is where the bridge came in from earlier, and we go up. We don't actually have to talk to that Skorupi, I believe, so we just continue dashing up, as we do. And here I'm going to take it a little bit slow, because falling off here is quite painful and happens a lot. A lot more than I'm willing to admit. There we go. Very good. We hit that switch. Having hit this switch is what unlocks Porygon Z for us. So that's why we absolutely needed to do that, because behind this gate that's opening is where Porygon Z is at, and where we can find the first of the 3 words that we need. So we go through here. This is where those flames were at. We don't care about that. And then behind here is where the gate is. Now, there are some really fun questions here. There are also some actually serious questions here. We'll find out what Porygon Z is going to ask us. So, first of the 3 secret words, let's have a quiz. Let's do this. First question, who told me to collect it? That's Flygon. So there's the serious question. What is Snorlax doing the first time sleeping? That's Gyarados. So he can also ask things like, what is my name? Which, you know, the answer is in the screen as he asks that. So, yep, that is now done. Let me actually go the right way. We will have to talk to Skorupi now, because we do want to befriend Skorupi. And befriending Skorupi is super easy. We just talk to him after we've befriended Porygon Z and collected the first word. And then when we go up here, we befriend the Bronzor. This one's automatically befriended. It is not optional. That's okay, though. We are still not at 80 friends, so having these extra friends is nice. And then up here, we meet our next challenge. We need to fight Electivire. So the words that we need to obtain, they're always the same. I think it's love, peace, and rainbow or something. But the thing is, you don't actually fill them in. You have to, you have to learn them. You have to befriend those Pokemon in order for the gates to actually unlock. Which is why we kind of need to travel around here. Which is kind of okay, honestly, because we need those friends anyway. Yeah, that's Electivire. We now go up here. Hit this switch, and that's going to open up the path to Togekiss. Togekiss is going to give us our second word. Make sure I don't fall off here. Falling off here is quite time-consuming. And at the end here, we can take the rope cart to get to Togekiss. So Togekiss is going to give us an obstacle hop, and this is the second hardest obstacle bit that we need to do in the run. There is one more annoying one at the very end of the run, but with this one, we're going to just take it very slow. We're going to just take them one hop at a time. Oh, make sure I don't fall off there. We have 90 seconds for this, so if this takes a little bit, that is fine. I'd rather be a little bit slow and lose a few seconds than mess it up and have to redo the entire thing. Yeah. There's Togekiss. Second word, peace. And Togekiss also tells us that the third word can be found back in the cavern zone. And it's actually the Snorlax that we've seen around, you know, sleeping everywhere. Snorlax is actually going to be the one giving us that word. I can just kind of jump off here. That's faster than taking the stairs. And then we just kind of go around back. And we're going to take the Drifblim back to Snorlax. Now, actually getting this word is not very time-consuming at all. There's no more quests or anything that we need to do for it. We are basically done with all of that. All that's left to do now is befriend Snorlax. We are also going to befriend Mawile, because, well, we kind of have to. And then once we have, we can do the last 2 attractions and make our way towards the end of the game. Make sure I go to the correct area here, Cavern Zone. This is also why we have to talk to Driftblim in the cavern zone the first time we're here. Otherwise, the fastest way would be to go to meeting place and then make our way into cavern zone, which loses like half a minute. Very slow. We don't want to do that. Yeah, Mawile is now our friend. We now go down here, talk to Snorlax. And we've already passed Snorlax's task, and now we get the secret word, rainbow. Yeah, I figured you were going to go for that. Okay, anyway, back to Granite Zone. All the way down here, Granite Zone. And now, if everything went well, we should now have exactly 80 friends. We should now have unlocked all of the words to unlock the gate. And this will allow us to... Oh, I did not mean to tackle you, Flygon. This should mean that we can now do Salamance's attraction. Now, Salamance's attraction is quite a fun one. It's basically like the Pelipper attraction, but then a lot more challenging. With targets that we need to hit and everything. Okay. We have exactly 80 friends, so that worked out. And now I can go over here and talk to Salamence. Okay, here we go. So the idea is this one's the same, except now I have to hit a bunch of targets. We're going to do this with Togekiss. Togekiss is fantastic for this. Especially since it's required anyway. We need to have 12,000 points coming out of this area. Now, the first thing we're going to do is I'm just going to kind of hit mash 2. Because by mashing 2, we air slash. And I need to try and actually hit targets rather than shoot exactly in between the targets. That would help. Ah, crap, I kind of missed. Kind of missing all of the big ones here. Which is not great. I think we can still do this, but it's going to be closer than I would like it to be. Okay, we have enough now. Perfect. Not a whole lot over, but we have enough. Yeah, okay, so this, at this point we have about 15 minutes left. So, just as a quick call towards tech of, yeah, we're gonna go like 15 minutes underestimate, probably. Anyway, that's our 13th prism piece. So, one more to go, and that last one is up in the ruins. Or, up in the flower zone. Yeah, we do get to make one more friend before we actually, actually, I think we get a couple more friends before we actually finish the game. The first one being this Jumpluff. At this point, we don't have to make more friends because that was the last attraction that had a minimum friend requirement. Set at 80 friends. But we are going to go up here. We are going to just kind of finish up. A couple Pokemon we need to talk to in order to unlock the last attraction of the game. Yeah, this is the Flower Zone. Now, funny enough, Chatot, who's been kind of everywhere in this game, is right here waiting for us. Has already made its way to the Flower Zone somehow. We're not going to talk to Chatot, we don't need to. We are going to talk to the Blossom, though. And after having talked to Blossom, we are going to go up here, and I am going to talk to, where is it, Shaman. Time we meet a legendary Pokemon right here. Okay, hold on. Go this way. So it turns out there's a mirror that's missing. I didn't need to do that. I didn't need to talk to Mareep. And the mirror has been went missing in the meeting place. Now, that means for us, we're just gonna go back to the meeting place. Talk to the Drifloon. Meeting place. Now, remember that tree house that we talked about like 2 hours ago? That tree house is now finally going to come into play. As we've been progressing, the tree house has slowly but steadily been built. They've also fixed the balloon, which is also going to come into play in a little bit. But yeah, that tree house actually is where the mirror is at. The Pokemon told us that the mirror had gone missing. And then the Mareep is the one who told us that, you know, it went missing in meeting place. And as we make our way up the treehouse, we're gonna bonk into like everything because this area is impossible to navigate with the way the camera is. But nope. A little bit further back. Where is it? There. As we go up, we will eventually get all the way to the top, and that's where we'll find this mirror. Now, we're not going to have to carry that all the way through Granite Zone, luckily. We just get warped back to the Flower Zone. We can use this to unlock the last attraction of the game. But we are
Can
going
I
to
use the final waddle as a last call for donations?
Yeah, in general, like now is a good time to plug other stuff if you still want to.
All right, so since we've got about 13 minutes left in this run, if you want any donations to actually be read out to Crrool, this is going to be your last chance. Please get them in as soon as possible. Remember, everything goes towards Crisis. And also, in about 15-20 minutes, the Jack of Hearts is going to be here with Jade Cocoon. So this is probably going to be your final chance. Name that main character, 10 characters maximum. You get to decide. $51 will get your choice in.
Okay, so this attraction with Rayquaza consists of two parts. The first part is we are going to kind of get something a little bit similar to like Pelipper's attraction, and then the second one's going to be a little bit similar to Rotom's attraction. And for that one, we're going to need to be able to shoot. This is also one of the easier ones. This is not a very difficult attraction for us to do. We're going to use Absol for this. Absol does quite well. We need 30,000 points, which is quite a lot, but shouldn't be too difficult with Absol. Okay, so here we kind of just have to move the controller to, like, basically what we do here, by the way, is if I want to pick those rings up, if I want to move left, I have to, like, angle the controller to the left, and then here, when I want to move it to the right, we angle to the right. It doesn't matter if I don't get all of the big rings here. If we get a few bigger ones, that's nice, but it's not really required. All of the big... Oh, crap. That's not what I wanted to do. All of the big points are at the end anyway. Okay, here we go. Okay, at this point we should have enough points. Yeah, that should be more than enough. Okay, almost 10,000 points over. So That is Rayquaza's attraction done, and that gets us the 14th and last prism piece. With that, we now will get access to the Sky Pavilion. And the Sky Pavilion is where we have to, or where we're going to be finding Mew. Now, the thing with Mew is, just to give that up front, the Mew fight is quite a long, like, befriending Mew is, it takes a little bit. It's definitely the longest Pokemon to befriend, obviously. And then once we've actually befriended Mew, there's going to be a few text boxes, and that's where time will be. We still probably have about another 7-8 minutes, give or take. If I can find the Blossom. There it is. See, in order for Shaman to actually be able to guide me to the Sky Pavilion, we need a watering can, because there's a flower that needs to bloom first. So we're going to use this watering can on the little flower over here. And once that blooms, Shaman is going to go into its sky form and will guide us to, the Sky Pavilion. Here we go. Shaman transforms into its sky form. The balloon is actually what actually helps us get us up there, but the Shaman kind of points out the way to it. See, there is the hot air balloon that we got like back in Beach Zone, like just after Gyarados, about like 45 minutes into the run, and we're finally going to be able to make use of it now. Yeah, welcome to the Sky Pavilion. This is the home of Mew. Mew is the only Pokemon here. It is worth pointing out, and that is actually being pointed out by Shaman here. Mew is known for being a bit of a trickster. Also, like Earthquake in the sky, because like I said, the sky has been falling, and we need to stop that. We need to put the prism pieces together, and we need Mew for that. Yeah, Mew is a bit of a prankster, and Shaman mentions that the last time Shaman was here, Mew disguised itself as a haunter and scared the Shaman. So in a way, this area is going to be split up into just about every single type of skill game that we've done up to this point. We are going to do sort of a hide and seek, which we haven't really done, I guess, but hide and seek is the only one that we haven't really done. Then after that, we are going to do a obstacle hop, we are going to do a battle, and we're going to do a chase. So we're going to do all of those. So the hide and seek-ish part is kind of just Mew has disguised itself as Piplup, so the first time that we talk to Mew, we don't really realize that it is Mew. But, you know, then we go back to the hot air balloon, and then Piplup is still there, and we kind of figure out this right here is the Mew we've been looking for. Hey, time for our actual skill games. So the first one's the obstacle hop, and that's also immediately the hardest one. At least for me it is, because, you know, platforming. So we're just going to take our time with this first one. Get a bit of a cool cutscene here as we see the platforms rise. Once we hit the top, that's where we will find Mew, and where we're going to have to do battle with Mew. Yeah. Making sure I line myself up correctly. This is the part that I just tend to lose the most time on if I don't. Especially towards the end here, we do not want to do that. Okay, there we go. Took my time, but we got it. So the battle consists of 3 parts, or well, 3 Pokemon we need to fight. All of them are going to be a lot stronger than me. All of them are going to have 5 health bars and do like a full health bar worth of damage per hit. So we can only take 1 hit. The second hit we lose. Most of these fights are doable though if you kind of know the patterns. So yeah, that's Magmortar. But we are not done. Time for the second one. Mew fights us 3 times in total. First as Magmortar, then as Garchomp, and then the third one will be as Tyranitar. Here I'm actually going to just kind of jump out of the way. Make sure we don't get hit by that Earthquake. Go. That's the second fight. 1 more to go. Okay, third and last battle. After this, we still have a chase left, and then time is coming up relatively soon after that. Yeah, here we can just chase into him immediately. He's going to do that attack, but we can kind of just jump out of the way. And that's Tyranitar. Okay, just the chase left. Okay, time for the final chase. We have a few text boxes after this, but we are almost done here. There we go. That went really well. This was a really good run. Very happy with how that went. Okay, get ready on time. Okay, it's not immediately after this conversation. I believe we talked to him still after. Yeah. Okay, get ready. And time. So yeah, that is Poképark Wii. We've now talked to Mew. The prism pieces are stored together, and you know, the sky will no longer be falling. And yeah, that sums it up. That was an almost 9-minute PB. That was crazy. Went really well. Anyway, I hope you guys had fun with Poképark. This is, as a speed game, Poképark is really not that hard to pick up. I definitely recommend, if you're interested in speedrunning Pokemon, in checking this one out. It is easily one of the most wholesome Pokemon games, and it is also one of the easier ones to learn. And just in general, a really fun game to do. So yeah, let's see what else. Also, yeah, if you like Pokemon speedrunning, you know, I'd appreciate it if you check out my channel as well. Be sure to drop a follow there. We do a lot of Pokemon speedrunning, not just Poképark, but just about every Pokemon game. Be sure to keep donating for a fantastic cause here, and I hope you guys will all have a lot of fun with the rest of UKSG. And with that, I'll give it back to the host.
Thank you very much for that. What a fantastic performance. I think with that, you're going to be about at least 10 places up on the leaderboard. It's a big push anyway.
It's a lot.
Well, we do have a donation before you go. It comes from the man, the legend himself, Tiny Tim. He has donated $52. Hey all, donating for the always amazing Crrool. You are one of my favorite speedrunners and a fantastic person as well. Good luck with the run, my friend. Oh, and hi, Duncan. Cheers. So thank you very much, Tiny Tim, for that. Thank you, Crrool. And I can only echo what you say. Give him a follow, watch his channel, a fantastic, family-friendly, whole variety of Pokemon games to go through. You're going to have a good time there. So thank you everyone that's given their donations in. Thank you very much for everyone that is still watching. Coming up next, we're going to have the Jack of Hearts, who is going to play a Jay Cocoon, story of the Tamamayu. He will pronounce it properly, I am sure. And I will be leaving you all now. Picking up the hosting duties will be Pikastroph appropriately. So before that, we are going to go to an intermission, but please stick around. We will be right back. Check out the donation, check out the incentives. Thank you very much, Crrool. Thank you, everyone else. See you all again soon.